talk about the brand new Anaconda movie that Columbia Pictures is now working on. We have a brand new cast member that's just been added to the movie, which is Ratcatcher from James Gunn's Suicide Squad, Daniela Melchior. Also, we have Jack Black and we have Paul Rudd, Ant-Man himself. So the cast is shaping up to be something pretty interesting here, guys. I remember growing up with that original Anaconda film back in the 90s. It was pretty terrifying. It scared me as a kid. That first movie was really, really good. But then it went off to spur a load of spin-offs that didn't do so well. But let's jump into this article, let's break it down, and let's see what we can learn about the brand new Anaconda movie. So, the Suicide Squad star, Daniela Melchior, joins Paul Rudd and Jack Black in the Anaconda remake. Say what you want about Jack Black, I know he's getting a bit of a bad rap at the moment, but Jack Black, I think he's charming as hell in everything that he's in. Paul Rudd, again, Ant-Man himself, Paul Rudd, charming as hell. And Daniela Melchior, who played Ratcatcher here in James Gunn's Suicide Squad. She was one of the best characters in that movie, so I'm excited to see what she does in this Anaconda remake. So earlier this year, the news broke that Columbia Pictures is planning to squeeze new life out of the Anaconda franchise. The unbearable weight of massive talent director Tom Gormican is set to helm the reimagining of the 1997 giant snake horror movie. By the way, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent was a great movie. I think it was real fun. I had a really good time with that. So I'm very interested to see the director of that movie come on board to do this Anaconda movie. Paul Rudd, who obviously plays Ant-Man, and Jack Black, Borderlands and School of Rock. If you have not seen School of Rock, check it out. One of my most favourite movies of all time. Fantastic. Have now been confirmed to play the lead roles. And according to Deadline, Daniela Melchior, again, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I think that's how you say it. Daniela Melchior has also joined the cast. So Melchior was recently seen in the Roadhouse remake and also made a memorable appearance as Cleo Cazo, aka Ratcatcher 2, in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Like I said, there was a lot of things wrong with that Suicide Squad movie, but one of the standout characters was her Ratcatcher character. She was one of the best characters in that movie. So it gives me a lot of hope that she can join this cast, that she can elevate the material, and she can do something great with it. Adding her to the cast is a great way to go. So Gormican will also co-write the script with the collaborator Kevin Etten. The project is said to have been in development at the studio since early 2023 and has gone through numerous rewrites as the filmmaker and Columbia tried to find the right balance of tones. I love these kind of creature feature movies. You remember that movie that came out a few years back called Cruel, where there was a hurricane and there was a flood. The woman was stuck in a house with that kind of alligator as the flood waters were coming into the town, and that was a creature feature with like an alligator or a crocodile, whichever one it was. And I love these kind of creature feature movies where you have a ragtag group of people and they have to survive against some sort of big animal or big creature. I love these kind of movies. They're really fun. They're very like early 2000 kind of 90s vibe movies, but we don't seem to see a whole lot of them anymore, and it's kind of disappointing. But they could do this movie really well. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. So it sounds like the new take on this creature feature is going to be more of a meta comedy. So, as, quote, a group of friends facing midlife crisis are remaking their favourite movie from their youth to head to the rainforest, only to find themselves in a fight for their lives against natural disasters, giant snakes, and violent criminals. So, according to the original report, Jack Black would play an erstwhile director, a man stuck in his job as a wedding videographer, while Rudd would play an actor who did a stint on a cop show, but sees his Hollywood dreams slipping further and further away. However, the trade notes that another source said it was the other way around. So we've got Jack Black and Paul Rudd. One of them is going to be a washed-up kind of director doing wedding videos, and the other one is going to be playing an actor who was on a cop show. So it could be Jack Black or Paul Rudd doing either one of those roles. We're not really sure. We haven't confirmed that yet. So the original Anaconda, actually a pretty star-studded affair, with Jennifer Lopez, Owen Wilson, love Owen Wilson, Ice Cube, Eric Stoltz, and Jon Voight, heading into the Amazon in the hopes of getting an elusive tribe on film, only to wind up being hunted by the world's largest snake. It wasn't exactly well received upon release, only a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, with a 24% audience score. So overall, critic and audience score wasn't that good, but it did form a massive cult following in the years after the movie. But it gained something of a cult following over the years. Yeah, like I was just saying, that movie, it gained a following when it came out on video on demand. People really, really enjoyed it. It spurred a whole load of spin-offs. but obviously those spin-offs were pretty crappy compared to that first movie. The movie spawned a number of directed DVD sequels and eventually crossed over with Lake Placid. For those of you who don't know, Lake Placid is kind of the same tone of movie, but instead of it being a giant snake, it's a giant crocodile. So those two franchises, the snake versus the crocodile, obviously crossed over. So guys, now that we've kind of jumped into that and we've kind of read that information there about what's going on with the movie, let's go over here. So this is the Anaconda movie list. We'll quickly dive into this just before we finish off. So this is the 5 Anaconda movies that have come out so far, and IMDb has put them in a list of best to worst. So if you're interested in watching the Anaconda series, this is kind of the list here showing you which movies are the best. So we've got the original Anaconda from 1997. A National Geographic film crew is taken hostage by an insane hunter who forces them along on his quest to capture the world's largest and deadliest snake. Obviously, the original Anaconda is number 1, being the best in the series. Number 2 in the series, Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid. A scientific expedition sets out for Borneo to seek a flower called the Blood Orchid, which could grant longer life. Meanwhile, they run afoul of snakes and each other. So they're looking for a blood orchid, and they run across a bunch of snakes. That's number 2 on the list, so that's the second best in the series. Then we get on to number 3, Anaconda's 4, Trail of Blood. A genetically created anaconda, cut in half, regenerates itself into 2 aggressive giant snakes due to the blood orchid. That sounds crazy. So someone's chopped a snake in half and it's generated 2 snakes. That's kind of wild. Then number 4 on the list, we have Lake Placid vs Anaconda. A giant crocodile goes head-to-head with a giant anaconda. The town sheriff must find a way to destroy the 2 monsters before they kill the whole town. So that's number 4 on the list. And then finally, at the very bottom, the worst of the series, Anaconda 3, The Offspring. A mercenary for hire accepts a mission from a billionaire to capture a dangerous snake that could possibly help cure a terminal illness. So that's the 5 Anaconda movies there, in order of kind of the best to the worst. So if you're interested in it, obviously start off with the original Anaconda. That's the best one, 1997. Then go to Anaconda's The Hunt for the Blood Orchid, and then kind of watch the rest in whichever order you want. But I just thought we'd go through that list and just check out the kind of the best to the worst in the series. As you can see, it did spawn off other movies that didn't do quite so well, but that original movie will always be a classic in my opinion. So there we go, guys. So Daniela Melchior joins Paul Rudd and Jack Black in the cast for the new Anaconda remake. I almost forgot what I was going to say then. Yeah, so Daniela Melchior joining Jack Black and Paul Rudd. That's 3 great cast members there. I think they're going to do a great job. This sounds really fun. I love these kind of creature features where they're taking on a giant crocodile, like a lion or a tiger or a snake. I think these are always fun. So guys, jump into the comment section. Let me know what you think about this. Is this something that you're interested in? Seeing these 3 cast members going up against a giant snake in the rainforest? Let me know down below, guys. Can't wait to hear what you have to say. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next one.